If you guys have a 2018 to 2020 Ford F-150 and you're shopping for aftermarket lights, this video should help you guys in that process. There is so many on the market today for your F-150 that there's a lot you can choose that are not any good. In this video, I've narrowed it down for you, and I'm going to show you all the features of some AlphaRex headlights and Morimoto XB headlights. So follow me, let's get rolling. The headlights I'll specifically talk about from AlphaRex will be the Pro Series, their cheapest version, the Lux Series, and then the Nova Series. These are the top dogs for AlphaRex. In this video, I want to show you guys the Morimoto XB Hybrid, which is Morimoto's entry-level headlight, and the Morimoto XB LED, their top dog. First thing I want to compare before we even show you guys the light outputs or the features is money, the price. How much are these headlights? Is it even worth it to you at the end of the day? The AlphaRex Pro headlight comes in at around $700 from what I've seen online at the time of this video. Their next step up is $1,000, and this is the Lux Series with 2 X's. Their premium headlight was the Nova Series headlight, and it comes in at around $1,500. As for the Morimoto headlights, they are a bit more pricey, so keep that in mind when you're choosing. Their hybrid headlight is their entry-level headlight, coming in at around $1,000, whereas their top dog headlight comes in at around $1,675. That is the priciest headlight in this lineup. In my opinion, this is the second most important feature on these headlights, light output and then features. So let's talk about the Pro Series from AlphaRex. They do use their patented rectangular projectors, so that is a win. There's a top projector and a bottom projector. But the reason they offer this headlight as so cheap is because it uses halogen bulbs. Those are the bulbs that you generally have on your vehicle that look dingy, yellow, or orange. Thankfully at Headlight Revolution, we've tested a bunch of LED bulbs, so if you wanted to buy these and then replace that halogen bulb with an LED bulb, we've got a ton of options that we've already tested for your headlights. The Pro headlights have that industry standard polycarbonate plastic lens with a layer of anti-fog agent. They use dual projectors for this 18 to 20 Ford F-150 Pro Series headlight. They have an LED bar that surrounds the light as a DRL and a signal light, the turn signal. The turn signal is an LED sequential turn signal that we have grown to love. There are 2 patented rectangular projectors. There is one for low beam and then one for high beam. The one on top is the low beam, the one on the bottom is for high beam. The downfall is they use an H7 halogen bulb. In my opinion, this is a downfall because that is that dingy looking yellow bulb that we've grown to hate and that we generally upgrade at Headlight Revolution. So if you buy this headlight housing to upgrade, you might as well also upgrade those halogen bulbs. Now all of the AlphaRex headlights that I've seen on their website seem to have 2 different colors to choose from. There's an Alpha Black, which is more glossy, and then a black, which seems to be a more flat color. This headlight looks essentially the same as the last headlight, the Pro Series headlight, but it's got a big major difference, and that is the projectors on the top and bottom are now LED projectors, so you have nothing to replace, no bulbs to replace, which is definitely a win. In my opinion, that's a must. There's no point in upgrading your headlights if you're just going to put the dingy, dated headlights back in it. These also have that LED bar surrounding the light as the DRL and the turn signal light. These headlights come with a switchback white LED DRL and amber LED sequential turn signals with an activation light feature, which is a running light when you unlock your F-150. And they both use LEDs developed by their own factory. These headlights still have a 2-year warranty. Next, I want to talk to you guys about the Nova Series. This is AlphaRex's top dog when it comes to the 18 to 20 or the 14th generation F-150s. Now these headlights, in my opinion, look pretty sweet. They've got 4 3D ice cube projectors, as they call them, as well as they have the switchback, white LED DRL, and amber LED sequential turn signal. The 2 on the top will light up as your low beam, and the 2 on the bottom are your high beam. The low beam is using the OSRAM LED chips, and that bi-LED projector is using the AlphaRex LED chips to provide dual beam function. These headlights come with a signature activation light feature, which is a sequential light show when you unlock your vehicle. This is a win when you're doing aftermarket lights on your F-150. These headlights say they are SAE and DOT compliant with a 2-year warranty as well from AlphaRex. Now we get to dive into the features quick of the XB headlights. I'm going to start with the XB Hybrid, which is their more entry-level headlight. And on the inside, I can definitely tell that it's a more matte color on the inside. It's more of like a gunmetal gray versus the other one I'm going to show you in a second. There are two projectors in here. There's one on the top and one on the bottom, and these are LED projectors, which is super cool. You still get that coveted light pipe around the outside of the headlight, which is still your parking light, your DRL, which is that brighter feature when your headlights are off and you're driving around during the day. On these ones, you get a standard blink option. One downside I see is that the turn signal bulb is actually the turn signal bulb from your original headlights. If you want to make that an LED bulb, we definitely have videos on that at Headlight Revolution on our YouTube channel. So let's power on through to the Morimoto XB. Let me show you guys the features of these because this is their top dog headlight. They use 4 LED projectors for the low beam and the high beam. All 4 light up for low beam, and you get an incredible light output, and I'm going to show you that really soon. The headlight housing has a piano black color, which in my opinion is much more aggressive than the hybrid version you just saw. They also have this pretty epic startup sequence, which is my favorite part about these headlights. These projectors do this cool sequence startup dance, if you will. There is no transferring bulbs over from your original lights because the turn signal is now built into that light pipe, and it's either a sequential or a standard blink function. You have an option with some of the wiring on the back side of that headlight. That's a win for Morimoto. Hopefully so far one of those features has stood out to you and you said, yes, that's the one I want, to make your decision making a little bit easier. Now, the most important part about these headlights is, are they brighter? Are they any better than your stock halogen lights? And in this video, we're gonna do that now. So we got the table pulled back from the wall. I wanna show you guys the low beam of your stock halogen lights first. You already know this headlight has that dingy yellow looking color. It is outdated to say the least. When using our digital lux meter, we read 1000 maximum lux. So in my opinion, it's actually pretty bright. You see that hot spot right in the center and then it fades off, but it's not very wide. I know we can do better than this when it comes to light output. This is the reason you guys are purchasing headlights. You want better light output. So the first headlight I'm going to compare to the stock halogen lights is the Pro Series headlight. Now these still use that halogen bulb, so you're not going to get a better color. You're going to have that same dingy yellow looking color because it utilizes the same bulb. The internals of the headlight does use a projector housing, so that is good for that cutoff line. As you can see, there's that little step in the middle of this light output, and it's a lot more refined and focused light output than your stock halogen lights. So in my opinion, the beam pattern is much better, but the color is not there. I do notice a little bit more width from this headlight versus your original stock halogen lights. Here's the bad part about it. It is 43% less bright in our testing. I measured 570 maximum lux. This might not be the first choice when it comes to upgrading lights on my F-150. Now let's compare the Lux series headlight from AlphaRex to your stock halogen. This one has that projector housing as well, but now it's an LED projector, so you do get that brighter white color. You still have that little step in the middle, that cutoff line, so you're not blinding oncoming drivers, but in my opinion, this beam pattern is very small. And looking at it in person, it is really dim. I'm not really a huge fan of how dim this LED projector is. Compared to the stock halogen lights, I believe those are going to be a lot brighter. After using the digital lux meter, it is a lot less bright. It is 59% less bright than your stock headlights. That is essentially a fail from AlphaRex in my opinion. We read 410 maximum lux. Now this headlight still looks cool and it's got some of those features, but I don't know if I could get past the light output in this case. Going in the order based off of price, the next most expensive headlight that we're going to compare is the Morimoto XB hybrid headlight. Now this light output seems to be a little bit more bright white than even the Lux version. I truly like the upgraded color when it comes to this XB hybrid output. Now it does have a good distribution of light, and you do see a small gradient of light going down to help you in the foreground, but pay attention to that hot spot. That light is focused right in the center of that beam pattern, and that's where it should be when you're driving down the road. Thankfully, when we measured this one, it was 5% brighter than your stock headlights, coming in at 1050 maximum lux. Now let's check out the Nova series. This is the top dog when it's coming from AlphaRex. As you can see here, the beam pattern is much taller, so this is going to provide a lot more foreground light, almost as if you had a fog light on as well. As you can see, you still got that step, that's from the projector itself, and then the width is a little bit wider. However, I don't see a real defined hotspot, and when you're driving down the road, you want that hotspot placed far in front of you. After measuring with this digital lux meter, it is actually 53% less bright. Now, like I just said, there is a ton of different features that make this headlight awesome, but the light output, in my opinion, could have been a little bit better. The last headlight on low beam that we got is the Morimoto XB LED. This is the most expensive in this entire lineup, but as you can see, it's got the brightest white color, it's got a really good width, and it's got that defining hotspot. So in my opinion, this light output is definitely the best light output out of all of these headlights. So in this case, when you do upgrade your headlights on your F-150, money does play a big factor. I measured the maximum lux and it was 84% brighter than stock. So this is by far the brightest. Everything else was less bright except for the hybrid, which was only 5% brighter. Let me show you guys the high beams really quick. I'm just gonna breeze through it. The stock high beam from the halogen lights on this F-150, we measured 1,380 lux. This is the benchmark for all of the high beams. When you compare that to the AlphaRex Pro Series headlights on high beam, we measured 1,290 maximum lux, so it was still 6% less bright even on high beam compared to your stock halogen lights. The Lux headlights from AlphaRex were 12% less bright on high beam. This is the LED version of essentially the same headlight you just saw. The Morimoto XB high beam looks like this, and you do get an increase in brightness. It's 66% brighter than stock. I'm beginning to notice that Morimoto's hybrid version generally has a better high beam than that of their more expensive XB version, and that's because the projectors usually have a dedicated high beam. The Nova series does have a really good high beam as well. They came in at 2,210. This is 60% brighter. So this is the only scenario that I've done in this test where the AlphaRex headlights are brighter than the stock in some way or another. The Morimoto XB LED headlights, the top Morimoto headlights, come in at 49% brighter than your stock halogen high beams. 49% brighter is a lot better than less bright. So on low beam, if you want just the brightest and best beam pattern, the XB LED takes the cake. Way better than the AlphaRex when it comes to light output. The Morimoto headlights, as far as the light output section goes, blows away the competition. If I was comparing these to one another, I would definitely pick the Morimoto XB headlights. If I was upgrading my headlights on my Ford F-150 based off of solely features and looks, I think I might choose the AlphaRex headlights for this. AlphaRex just had a few additional features that I think I would prefer more than the Morimoto features. Guys, it is my mission to not have you, my friends and family, spend their money on products that just aren't any good. So keep your budget in mind. What can you afford? And if you can afford the high top dogs, these are where it's at. These are the best products that you can buy for your F-150. If you want to see everything else we've tested at Headlight Revolution that's actually worth putting on your vehicle, go to headlightrevolution.com. Type in your year, make, and model, and we'll show you guys everything there.